Hello, I'm Lori Steiner, sitting in for Armin Budish. Welcome to Golden Opportunities.
Today, no bones about it, osteoporosis is an alarming ailment. We'll find out how to fight being fragile. Then, want a white smile that will have others green with envy? We'll help color you happy. Perfect posture could prevent a plethora of problems. We'll offer straight-up advice if you have a bent back. Plus, you can ride the rails while sipping some ales. We'll tell you how to toast on a train. And little-known tips to cut the cost of long-term care for women.
It's time to get geoing, so pull up a chair and join us at our kitchen table for Golden Opportunities. Are your bones a bit too breakable? Can you fight them from becoming fearfully fragile? Dr. Marina McGray is here to help us bone up on bone health and inform us if we can avoid osteoporosis. Dr. McGray is the director of the Metabolic Bone Clinic at Metro Health. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
I know you guys are having a big women's event coming up, and we're going to get to that in a minute, but first, throw us a bone. Do all women have to worry about, this osteoporosis disease as we age?
The answer to that question is yes. How nature has planned it for us is that bone loss is inevitable. And the best time for women or men is to gain bone mass is in teenage years.
Ooh, we're a little past that.
And then, peak bone mass you attain between the ages of 25 and 30, and then the bone mass stays stable for a few years, and then it starts dwindling down, particularly for women after menopause.
Oh dear. So, probably we're all past our mid-20s now. So is there at least some way that we can slow it down?
Definitely. The things one can do to prevent bone loss would be, diet and exercise. So in terms of diet, you have to have an adequate amount of calcium and vitamin D. And there are a lot of foods that contain a lot of vitamin D and calcium. Calcium would be like milk, cheese, and you need about 1,000 to 1,500 milligrams of calcium per day. You could get that in cheese, yogurt, sardines, and then vitamin D is obviously in our sun. And
get out in the sun a little bit when it's here.
Then it's here, and then you can get vitamin D supplements.
Okay.
Usually the recommended dose would be about 800 international units, but you could take even up to 1,000 to 2,000 units a day.
Okay, so we know that we have to improve diet to get this additional calcium. So you mentioned exercise before, so what else can we do?
You mean to get additional calcium,
or
to make our bones strong?
Right. Yeah.
So we could do different kinds of exercises, like both weight bearing and muscle strengthening exercises. The weight bearing exercises would be like walking against gravity, putting on some ankle weights and walking. Tai Chi would be a good exercise for that. And I wouldn't recommend rollerblading, but that is a good exercise for gaining some bones too. And swimming.
Things to stay away from?
Things to stay away would be obviously smoking, and smoking increases your risk for osteoporosis tremendously, and also alcohol. If you drink 3 or more units of alcohol a day, you increase your risk of osteoporosis.
Oh my goodness.
And
stay away from that.
And up to 3 cups of coffee is okay, but more than 3 cups also impairs absorption of calcium.
Is the problem. Okay. Now, if we decide that we need some help in our bone mass, if we're getting checked, is there, in addition to diet and lifestyle, anything we can do to help check this bone loss as we age?
Definitely. The recommendations are every woman after the age of 65 should definitely have a bone scan, and a man at the age of 70. But if you have risk factors like family history of osteoporosis, or you have had a fracture before, or anybody in your family has had a hip fracture, you need to be screened earlier and check with your doctor starting at age 50, getting regular DEXA scans every 2 years.
Okay. Is there medication that if you turn out that you have a problem?
There are plenty of medications available, so you need to discuss it with your doctor which would be a good medicine for you, and they can monitor you closely for side effects.
Okay. And as I mentioned at the beginning, you're going to be giving a lot more of this kind of information and more at a big event called Every the Every Woman event.
Yeah, we're going to have Every Women event. It's going to be on April 12th in Holiday Inn South. The event is not only going to be limited to osteoporosis, but we'll be talking about brain health, menopause, and other things women would be interested in knowing. So I think it'll be a great event to attend.
Sounds like a good event. So
Definitely.
Great information. Your bones may have a bone to pick with you if you're not doing everything possible to keep their mass from going missing. Follow Dr. McGray's advice and eat right, exercise, get tested, and learn more about osteoporosis and many other health topics by attending Metro's Every Woman event. My thanks to the doctor for joining us today.
Thank you very much.
Find out more by calling Metro Health at 216-778-7800 or log on to www.metrohealth.org. Next, transforming tarnished teeth. But first, tomorrow everyone is Irish, and St. Patrick's Day isn't complete without a parade. But this annual pageant procession didn't originate on the Emerald Isle. So where did the premier St. Pat's Parade step up? We'll march back with the answer right after this.
My husband and I got into the car and we couldn't do it. We couldn't pick one baby over the other. Coming to Metro changed the entire pregnancy. We actually started to become happy with our situation. We owe a big thank you to Metro. I can't imagine our family without Sam.
The initial Irish parade celebrating St. Patrick's Day didn't debut in Dublin. It began in Boston back in 1737. Americans of Irish origin initiated the event while the Irish in Ireland came to the parade party relatively late, premiering their parade in 1931.
Tomorrow is St. Patrick's Day, but you don't need the luck of the Irish to have a smile that is as bright as when Irish eyes are smiling. Dentist Steve Marsh is here with ways to brighten your smile, no matter whether you're a lassie or a laddie, and that's no blarney. So welcome to the show.
Well, thank you, and your producer came up with quite a cute introduction.
Yeah, this pre-St. Patrick's Day. Now, green teeth don't really get involved in the wearing of the green, right?
No, and it's funny, your last patient was talking about green tea and things like that, but oftentimes people get teeth stained because of sometimes it's food and debris. Recently I had a patient who came in, she was unhappy with the color of her teeth. We ended up doing porcelain veneers, so we've got a beautiful smile, and we can demonstrate that
very
later.
Happy then.
Very happy, but it turned out that she was a juicer. You mentioned these healthy things, so she drank this very green juice, and as a result, her teeth got stained very badly.
Oh, dear.
And so now she comes in every couple months to get her teeth cleaned because we can do a better job at taking off the stain. And that's the picture of her. That was her before. That was her after veneers. She could have had a bigger smile, and you see the change in lipstick and color with different camera. But in any case, we use porcelain veneers. But again, even with porcelain veneers, it's like a piece of china that you eat off of. You can stain it with different foods and things like that.
Wow, so what we eat and what we drink can stain our teeth. So what do we do?
Well, when you have those extrinsic stains that you just talked about, that's where you go to the dentist, as she does. And I'm going to point this out, Lori. We have two different pumices or cleaning things in our office. One is the abrasive one, and most people will use that, and most hygienists use it. It gets stained off beautifully. But if you've had bonding or veneers like she had, there's one a paste that's made specifically for crowns and veneers, and it doesn't take off the glaze. In the same way you wouldn't use soft scrub or Comet on a piece of china.
Ooh, yeah.
So in those cases, the hygienist should know which one to use for bonding and crowns.
Okay, get your teeth clean again. But I know that there are some people who have yellowing teeth. They don't drink the coffee and the tea. So
Right.
what's
and I have
going
some
on
pictures
there?
of that. And some of the patients, some of it is just with age. You know, as our viewers get older, sometimes you get a stain like this. And in fact, she came to me because her grandchild talked to her about the stain of her teeth. A lot of coffee, a lot of tea. Here's a patient who had fairly yellow teeth, and when they did her crowns a number of years ago, and those are crowns on the front too, they made them yellow to match the others. today what we'll do is whitening. And this is an interesting case. He came to me from Columbus. He had tetracycline stains, and that happens when a child is developing either in the mother's womb or just in their first year or so, and the teeth are developing. They sometimes use tetracycline, and somebody had tried to cover that with bonding, and it looked very artificial. He was very unhappy, and he ended up coming to me and saying, what can we do for that?
So the tetracycline, that's inside. So
That's
there could be
within.
outside stains, inside stains, but there's things that can be done.
Absolutely. And so what we look at is cleaning and that sort of thing. And I thought what we would do is show the same pictures of those people who came to me with those three circumstances and how we rectified that. And so as we bring those pictures up, you can see what happened. I mentioned the woman, the grandmother, who came in with the stained teeth. Initially, Lori, we did whitening. We did it with Zoom, which takes about an hour and a half. It helped, but because she drinks so much coffee and tea, it didn't take care of the whole problem. And so we ended up using porcelain veneers. That's what we did. We extended those all the way back. I also mentioned the woman with yellow teeth, and you mentioned about intrinsic stain. As we get older, we brush some of the enamel off, and so the layer underneath can be very yellow. And in some cases, it can be we have a natural color tendency to a yellow or white, and everybody has a little difference. She's fair-skinned, so the yellow really sticks out. We took off some of those yellow crowns. We did porcelain veneers, and she said, while we're doing it, let's make them as white as we can and extend that to the back. That's how we took care of that. We mentioned the third patient who came from Columbus. You can see that he had old bonding on the top, dark stained teeth. That's again tetracycline on the bottom. We did porcelain veneers. We did some gum contouring to give him that bright smile that he's always wanted. They look certainly much more natural than the old bonding. So there are different techniques that dentists can use to counter the color of your teeth, whether it's the green St. Patrick's Day or a yellow.
All right, great information as always. So if you're saying Irish, I wish I had a beautiful smile. Today is your lucky day. Just give Steve a call and he'll help your teeth look their best and their brightest. His number's coming up next.
See what Dr. Stephen Marsh can do for your smile by calling 440-461-1003 or visit www.clevelandsmiles.com. Next, get straightened out. Looking for places to go, things to do? Welcome to our community calendar. Are you a retiring Ohio police or fire worker? Call Mere Fires of Concern by discovering arresting information about retirement issues. Joint survivorship, healthcare coverage, pension options, and more will be discussed at a free dinner offered by the Lineweaver Financial Group, Tuesday, March 25th at Lock Keepers. For more information or to reserve your seat, call 1-888-313-4009.
Is Dr. Noel Abood really Superman? It seems he has a type of X-ray vision. He can look at your posture and postulate that your spine is either supple or has a setback. Dr. Abood shows his superpowers at the Solon Spine and Wellness Center. So welcome to the show, Mr. Superman.
Thank you.
So you say our posture is a window to our spine. So what can you tell by looking at somebody?
It's amazing. I mean, I've been in practice for 30 years now, and over that time, I've come to learn that the body leaves clues as to what's going on. And posture, it really is. It's like a window that allows us to look inside and see. For example, like if your posture is leaning really far forward, we know that that's going to put a whole lot of extra stress on your cartilage discs. Like that man right there, and you can see that's a typical patient with what's called spinal stenosis. He's walking forward. And eventually, his body will break down, right?
Mm-hmm. So if they are in hunchback or, out of whack with the posture, what's going on with the spine?
Well, think of it like, if we were just in the Dominican Republic, and you see these little pickup trucks, and they're loaded with all these bananas and everything, and the wheels are tilted. You know that car, the axles, the tires, the shocks, everything is going to break down earlier. The same with our bodies. So what we need to do is help teach our patients ways to change their posture. And it's not just, okay, Lori, sit up straighter. That's not always the answer.
I'm sort of feeling like I have to do that now.
It's like you have to reset the thermostat so that you automatically sit up straight. And there's different ways that we teach our patients how to do that.
Okay, so Could a change in our spine make functioning a little bit more feeble, and so we're just not in good posture?
We tell our patients all the time, stiff is old and flexible is young. So we've got to do everything we can to keep you flexible. You can just see when you see someone walking and shuffling, they look old, they look tired. But if we can get you loose and supple, you're moving and you're preventing decay down the road.
Okay, so even if there's a problem going on already, there's something that you can do to help fix that?
And that's the second phase of our practice, is we catch them when they've already developed spinal stenosis or disc herniations. And once that disc is worn down, we use a technique called non-surgical lumbar decompression. And you know, we've talked about that before, but it's an amazing procedure that helps open up the spine, as you can see.
And here we have a video of it, huh?
Yeah,
so
our
what's
table
going on
helps
there?
do that. It creates this like negative pressure, and it pulls blood into that damaged disc. And once the blood gets in there, it brings oxygen, and that allows that disc to repair. And I'm not saying it'll go back to when you're age 16, obviously, but all we need to do is increase a little bit of height on that disc, and it will really change the way you stand. It will change the way you feel, more importantly.
So you can see the difference both inside and out then at that point.
Absolutely. We love to take photographs of our patients' posture before and after, and it's amazing to look and see how they change.
So they'll get good posture. We just heard about it, get a good smile. So
This is the day for that.
It's springtime, we hope, coming soon, right?
Correct.
So if your back is out of whack and you want your posture to be perfect, give Dr. Abood a call. He may not be an actual action hero, but his patients will tell you his work is super, man.
Learn more by calling Solon Spine and Wellness Center or log on to www.solonbackpain.com. Next, all aboard for beer. It's time to get up and go, an exercise minute on golden opportunities.
Hello everybody, I'm Mike Carvin from Breakout Fitness, and today we are going to do a dumbbell row to work our back and our biceps as well as our rear delt muscles. This is an excellent exercise. We're going to utilize our exercise ball today. We're going to start by laying our chest flat on the ball. Your legs can either be straight behind you or off to the side. We're going to have a pair of dumbbells sitting in front of us here. We want our palms down as we grab the dumbbells. Maintain good posture by pulling your shoulders back, and all we want to do is bring our elbows back and squeeze our shoulder blades together. Back out to the front and pull them straight back and breathe, okay? Exhale with exertion, inhale as your body relaxes. 12 to 15 repetitions is a great place to start. How you feeling?
I feel like a dumbbell.
You got it, you're doing great. All right, everybody, now it's your turn to get up and go.
For your copy of the exercise booklet, please send $1 for postage to Golden Opportunities, 23240 Chagrin Boulevard, Suite 450, Beechwood, Ohio, 44122.
Instead of hopping a train, why not get hops on a train? We've got just the ticket to imbibe in a bevy of fine brews. It's Ales on Rails, a beer tasting train ride hosted by the Cuyahoga Valley Scenic Railroad. Kelly Steele Moore is here to pour out the details about this event. Kelly is the marketing director for the railroad. So happy to see you here.
Thank you so much.
You brought beer, so that's even better. So.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
So if we station ourselves on that train, what do we expect?
Well, on these 2-hour round trip Ales on Rails beer tasting excursions, you travel through Cuyahoga Valley National Park, and while you're on board, you get to sample 5 different themed beers. The one coming up next week is St. Patrick's Day Express, and each beer is served with a chef-prepared hors d'oeuvre that's been designed to complement that particular beer.
Okay, so we get to a beer tasting right on the train. So you've got 5 on this particular train ride for St. Patrick's Day, right? And this is the
Correct.
sampling of kind of what it's going to be?
It is, yes.
So who picks the beers? How do you have an expert who picks the beers?
We do. We work with Heidelberg Distributing, and that's how we pick what the themes are going to be throughout the year. So we try to think of things that are up and coming, new trends, or something that's themed for the month if there's a particular, like St. Patrick's Day.
Okay.
Right.
And then you've got these beers, and you mentioned hors d'oeuvres. So the hors d'oeuvres you said were themed to the beer. So do you have a chef or something who comes in and
we do? We use
tastes and cooks and tastes and cooks?
Well, we provide her the list ahead of time so that she can incorporate those, sometimes into the desserts or into the actual, one of the different hors d'oeuvres that we have going on. But yeah, we use Moe's Catering out of Cuyahoga Falls, and she just does an incredible job.
So is there appetizer and main dish and dessert with the beers and everything?
It's
Or is it more snacky food?
It's more snacky food. Yeah, heavy hors d'oeuvres to help offset the beer.
Okay. So how much does it cost to take a ride and drink the beer?
Well, it all depends on which car you select. So if you want to be in one of our fun coach cars where you sit knee to knee with another couple, that's $47, and then the price goes up from there to our deluxe dining car. We have an observation car with 20 seats in an upper dome, and then that's our executive level car.
That's very classy.
It's gorgeous. It's gorgeous.
So that costs a little more, but it looks like it might be worth it.
It is worth it.
If we're wanting to take this train ride with the beer and we missed this one, are there more coming up this year?
There are. We do one every month up until November, including November. So, and if you're not a beer drinker, we do wine tasting trains as well.
Wine tasting.
So one per month, something for everyone.
Okay, so with the wine, is it the same kind of thing as with the beer, where you have certain wines and then there's hors d'oeuvres that complement those wines as well?
Exactly. Yes. Yeah. 5 different wines, all themed different things. Mother's Day is coming up.
Ooh, is there a wine one on Mother's Day?
There is a wine one on Mother's
that's
Day.
important.
So,
I
yes.
think the moms really need that. So it sounds like a great fun time. So do you get a lot of people?
We are very fortunate, yes. We do get a lot of people.
Sell
I think
out?
we're not necessarily sell out, but...
So you still can get on there.
You can get on. There's always room.
Late.
We save you room.
All right, excellent, great. If the taste of a new beer makes you want to say cheers, then Ales on Rails is the right ride for you. Learn more, and for more ticket information, use the number that's coming up next. My thanks to Kelly Steele Moore for taking us along for a preview ride.
Thank you for having me.
For more information, call the Cuyahoga Valley Scenic Railroad at 800-468-4070 or click to www.cvsr.com. Next, how to cut the cost of nursing home insurance.
Welcome to Breckenridge Village, a continuing care retirement community conveniently located in historic Willoughby, Ohio. Whether it's a luxury apartment, a spacious ranch home, or newly built brownstones, it's all here with the added security of knowing more care is available when you need it. Breckenridge Village offers an exciting and upbeat lifestyle, and the food is fabulous, and our staff makes you their #1 priority. Learn more about Breckenridge Village and come see our new Veal Wellness and Aquatic Center.
Did you miss a phone number or a website? Then here's your second chance, because we're going to list all of that information again. And then we'll be back to tell you why, when it comes to long-term care insurance, men and women are not created equal. What will happen if you or your spouse suffers a stroke or is stricken with Alzheimer's and needs long-term care in the future? In many cases, the wife will take care of the husband at home. But in most cases, it's the husband who dies first. And then who's going to care for the wife? How is she going to pay for that care? Here with little-known tips to protect you and your family is my law partner, Mike Solomon.
Hi, Lori.
So welcome to the show, talking about a very serious topic.
Right.
Now, I know when one spouse becomes ill, the other spouse is typically going to do everything that they can to keep that spouse at home.
Right. It's this happens a lot with our clients. When let's say a husband goes into a long-term care facility, the wife will go through heroic efforts just to keep him out of the nursing home, and obviously vice versa. So it's when they're married, they usually do everything they can to keep that situation at home.
All right. We see a lot of families are dealing with that. But what happens after that first spouse dies?
Well, usually, and let me give you an example, usually it's the husband who passed away first. Unfortunately, that's the statistics the way they are. So the husband goes in, the wife's now alone, And now if she has a health problem and has to go to a long-term care facility, there's no one at home to take care of her.
Sure.
So now she's going to have to go into a facility, and those can be very expensive. The cost can range anywhere from $80,000 to $100,000 a year, and that can wipe out someone's life savings
Truly
in a
wipe you
matter of
out,
years.
yeah.
Yes.
So, because of that, does it make sense for the wife to look at purchasing long-term care insurance?
Well, in some cases it does. Now, here's a problem that we've been running into recently. The premium cost for long-term care insurance for women tends to be higher than for men, and that's for a couple of reasons. Number one, I already mentioned that women tend to survive their husbands, so when the problems arise, they're the ones who tend to go to the long-term care facilities, and plus they have a longer life expectancy, so the claims are larger. So the premiums can end up being a lot larger for women for long-term care insurance.
Okay, so if you're saying they're more expensive, how much more expensive would a policy for a woman be?
Well, that can vary per company, but it could be as much as 50% more premium, so it's a lot.
My goodness,
Yes.
wow, that's really high. So what can a woman do to cut those costs?
Well, there's two ways possibly to handle this. Number one, when the husband and wife, they should buy the policies, go in at the same time and buy it. Many insurance companies will give you a discount. It could be anywhere around 30% of the savings if you go in together. The other option is they get a shared plan. Basically what that is they're buying it together, and the benefit is a joint benefit. So for example, let's say they get 6 years coverage. They can use it either way. Either one, they can mix and match how they want to use it for each other. So let's say the husband goes into a long-term care facility first, survives a year there, he's used 1 year of their 6-year benefit. The wife still has 5 years left after that.
Oh, that sounds like a great option.
Right.
So that can bring that cost down and also give them, because the husband may not use it as long as the wife may need it, gives you a good way to kind of split those costs up.
Right.
That's fantastic. So that's really good information. Nursing home insurance is really expensive, now more than ever for women. But you may be able to cut the costs by following Mike's advice. For more information about this, give Mike Solomon a call.
Call Budish, Solomon, Steiner, and Peck at 1-888-236-5173 for more information or to schedule a speaker for your organization. We also offer free CEUs and CCMs for nurses, social workers, and case managers. Or log on to www.bssplaw.com.
Thanks for joining us. On next week's show, Shopping for Health Insurance, we'll list what to look for, then why exercising plop and drop are moves that can help your retirement plans. Is the sweet smell of spring causing sinus suffering? Our advice is nothing to sneeze at. Plus, we'll meet a man with a plan to celebrate our city. And should you pay off your mortgage or keep the cash? Until then, please remember to make the most of your golden opportunities.
Would you like to join our kitchen conversation? All you have to do is call toll-free 1-877-765-1543 and leave us your question, name, and phone number. Or log on to www.golden.tv for all the latest information and show updates.